I'm Nancy Smith Mattox on WYTV7 in Charlotte, broadcasting on Shine Your Light Radio Ministry in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I'm so excited to have you today. We have a very special guest, a young man, an entrepreneur, and I always love to have those. And he's going to talk to us a little bit today about protecting ourselves from home invasions. So it's going to be an awesome show. But before we start, I'd just like to talk a little bit about WYTV7 and let everyone know that we are a nonprofit. And we do 501c3, and we do take donations. But we do a lot for the community there in Charlotte. We do, backpacks, meals, all kinds of things. Financial literacy is one of our big things, and also literacy in general. So anyway, I'm really excited to be associated with them, and I hope that you learn a lot from our show today. Without further ado, let me introduce my guest. His name is Curtis Romano. He is the founder of Watchman Solutions. So that kind of tells you where we're going here. He's all in security and all of that, so I'm really excited. So let's go ahead and get started. Curtis, without further ado, tell us a little bit about you and your company and what brought you where you are.
Hey, thanks, Nancy. I really appreciate that. So my name's Curtis. Fresh out of high school, I joined the Marine Corps. I spent 5 years in the Marine Corps infantry, and then after that time, during that time, I did 3 deployments. I deployed to Afghanistan once and Iraq twice. After that time, I moved to Afghanistan. I did 6 years of private security work over in Afghanistan. I'd come home periodically. And so protecting people isn't just something I've done as a hobby, but I've done it professionally for years. And I'm very passionate about people being able to protect themselves, their loved ones, their families, and even anyone in their immediate area that they need to protect.
Absolutely.
Watchman Solutions, we provide, our biggest emphasis is that we want to provide everyone the freedom to protect themselves, whether that's through education or we provide other services. So we provide concealed carry classes, defensive pistol classes. We also provide home assessments and consultations to their homes, so we can go there, assess their homes, give them a full security plan of, people might have a gun, or people might have a Ring doorbell, or bright lights, defensive lights in their homes. But all those are tools, they're not really a plan. So we want to come together and provide a full plan of helping them, showing them how to use those tools and how to protect themselves. And then we also provide physical security as well for residents and parties, HOAs, and construction sites as well.
Absolutely. Well, people are really more prepared now than they were, say, 4 or 5 years ago. They are arming themselves, and they're putting their security systems in, and a lot of them here recently have those doorbell films or whatever they are, Ring doorbells, but anyway, but they don't understand that they need a plan in case something happens, because all of the protection in the world is no good to any of us if we don't have a plan of how we're going to get through something. So that's why I'm really excited to have you tonight, and I hope everyone will perk up and listen, and we'll give you Curtis's information as we go along, so we can be sure that you get your protection plan in place. Especially, we're going to key a lot tonight on home invasions. So, but anyway, what makes Charlotte unique when it comes to national awareness and personal protection compared to other places, Curtis?
So I think what makes Charlotte unique when it comes to situational awareness, personal protection, I think what really makes it unique is the massive growth Charlotte is experiencing. Neighborhoods are being put up all over the place. There's a lot of gentrification going on downtown. There's a lot of growth in here. I think it's going to keep growing until, I think, 2025, I read the other day. So there's a lot more growth going on here than I've seen. And I grew up just south of D.C. There's still a fair amount of growth there. I've lived in St. Louis for a few years. That's a big city, but I've not seen growth at this scale in either of those metropolis areas like I'm seeing in Charlotte. And so what that does is that brings a huge mixing pot of people, mostly good people. We're also going to get some not good people. And so it really creates a different level of situational awareness that we all need within who's moving in next door or wherever you're going out in town. It's just going to create a lot more people and more people, is definitely
Absolutely. And it seems like crime is up too. I think the drug addiction has really taken over a lot of younger people, and they're doing things that normally they would not have done were they not addicted. But we're finding that here. And he said there's a rash. They've had 87 car break-ins in one neighborhood over the weekend. And I heard on the news tonight that there's a break-in problem, car break-ins and car burglaries here in Little Rock where I live too right now going on. So I think that's part of the trend is people are breaking into cars and stealing whatever they can.
Theft is huge. In North Carolina, in my zip code alone, 1 in 51 residents, that's not households, 1 in 51 residents are at risk of property theft, especially with vehicles. Not so much stealing the car, but exactly like you're talking about, going in, breaking in at night and grabbing what they can and then leaving.
Well, one thing that I heard on the news the other day is that, a lot of us, we have garages, but we park our car in the driveway and leave our garage door openers in our car. Well, if someone breaks in and get your garage door opener, then you're done for. I mean, especially when you don't lock your door when you go in either. You just know your garage door's shut and you're in there safe. But I happen to think about this weekend. I was house sitting in my son's house, and I'm like, I had a garage door opener and I was parking in the garage. But I thought, well, if that garage door comes up, so I started taking the garage door opener in with me because I'm like, that's just a little tip that people need to know. Don't leave it in the car if it's parked in the driveway, because I mean that's a way for home invasions to happen. Yeah. If they get a hold of your garage door opener. So
it definitely is. And I always lock, you have that barrier of entry, the garage door, and then you have the next pedestrian door that leads into the house. Definitely lock that. For your husband's sake, even something like there's the emergency 911 keychains that they use for elderly but even using that as a prevention of a home invasion or an opportunity to notify someone immediately. The cops aren't going to show up right away, but that's going to get some kind of immediate reaction.
Wow, I hadn't even thought about that, and that's because he does wear one of those. They're like, he wears a bracelet, and if something happens and he falls or something, he can push that, and the police will be here in no time. And we test it every month, but that's a great idea. If someone walked in on him and he didn't know who they were, he should push that. I had never even thought about that. See, I'll have to train him for that. I don't have a plan myself. But what are some of the great courses of actions to prevent home invasions, Curtis?
I think a really simple and cheap course of action that people can do, and just like we're talking about vehicle theft, home invasions, is lighting. Lighting is a very cheap and simple, and so lighting and or cameras combined is kind of your first barrier of entry. If more lights are going to expose the people, criminals are going to prey on the weak, and they're not going to go into a well-lit area because they know anyone and everyone can see them. So having excellent lighting in your house, and you don't want to have the kind of lighting that shines on the house. You'll see that with a lot of, let's say, nicer homes. People have lights on the house to kind of show off their home. What they're really doing is blinding themselves from any kind of threat. And now people going in can see them. But you want light going out, and especially covering the various angles of your house, entrances, your garage door, and having cameras there, and good quality cameras. Definitely, it's worth spending the money on a 1080p quality camera. You look at a bank robbery, and the camera quality is so bad it looks like 5 people I know every time. So you want to have a good quality camera. Excellent lighting is the first barrier of entry. Then you want to look at your doors. Your deadbolt, or the screws in your deadbolt, are they 3 inches long? You're going in deep enough into the frame to prevent someone from kicking down your door. And then you want to go from there. Then you want to, so all of your doors, are they deadbolted or have very good locks on them? If you have, a lot of people have the keypad locks. If it's more of that clear glass, make sure you're constantly wiping off your fingerprints, because if you're the only person, you're typing in the same code, your fingerprints may show up on the glass.
So they could put a light on that and see what the fingerprints are, that kind of thing, like you're checking a fingerprint or whatever.
Well, you can just see the imprints, and you can guess essentially what your code is with minimal guesses. Where if you wipe it off every week, wipe it off, and it's going to prevent people from really being able to guess what that code is. Entering in the house, what's next? An alarm system. Sometimes it doesn't even need to be, oh, I'm sorry, let me back up. Outside signs, get an alarm code sign. Even if you don't use that service, ADT sells them for $15 on Amazon. You can go buy an ADT sign, and their studies show that criminals will avoid those houses because they don't want to find out if you have an alarm system or not. They'd rather just not go in there and not ever find out.
Wow.
So even having those signs, whether you use that service or not, actually an alarm system is a great one, but you can even get alarm systems built into your windows for like $5 from Home Depot. They're not tied in with the alarm system, and they make a lot of noise if you open up that window, a lot of noise. And you can even get door ones like that for your husband. They go to open the door. You know, if your husband knows someone's coming, they can remove it, but if no one's supposed to come, as soon as they open the door, it trips off the alarm and it goes off. It's super loud. It trips someone off. So when your husband leaves the door unlocked, that's a great way to prevent that.
Wow, it's awesome. Yes.
They're like $15 on Amazon.
Yeah.
What is your defensive? And a gun is not for everybody. So if you're not comfortable with a gun, don't carry one. But have a plan of defending your home. That's your castle. That's your home. We don't want to just give that up. We don't want to just open the doors from any kind of threat to our family and our loved ones. So having a plan. If it's a firearm, great. Make sure it's accessible to you, to the authorized user, but not accessible to unauthorized users like your kids or people that don't belong in your house. I'm not sponsored by this brand, but Vaultec makes an excellent biometric safe. It's quick and easy to get to, and you can use, I think I'm 90% sure it's 20 fingerprints. Put your fingerprint on there, the gun pops out, you can grab it. Super safe. And if you're not a fan of guns, that's fine. Have a baseball bat. Have something accessible. Have a plan to defend your home.
Wow.
Also know the laws in your state. In North Carolina, you have to be able to justify that you felt like your life was in danger. If someone is in your home and they're walking out with your TV, you can't shoot them. You can use other uses of force, but if you can't justify that your life was in imminent danger, then you can't shoot them. But if you can justify that, you can use deadly force. So know your state laws and what you're going to do. But ultimately have a plan. Those Ring doorbells, there's other brands out there. Those are excellent sources. You see someone outside and they're not a friend, call 911.
So what do you think about these Ring doorbells? There's a lot of controversy about those and the programming and all that stuff. Sometimes it's a false sense of security, right?
I think the people that are going to get access, that have access to those, I wouldn't say it's a false sense of security, because there's video footage of people showing up to your door, seeing you have a camera, and then leaving.
Yeah.
Because they know they've been spotted. So I wouldn't say it's a false sense of security, but you can't count that as your only sense of security. Well, again, you have to have a plan. If someone's not a friend, you're calling 911, whether you're home or not. There needs to be a plan in place. There is a little bit of level of privacy you might be losing, though, too. And so you need to be aware of that. Look into the companies you're using, look at their privacy policies, and find one that you're comfortable with. I wouldn't just buy the complete knockoff from China that who knows where that video.
Wow. Yeah. Goodness. I know a house set.
It's been caught with a deal with Facebook. So
oh my goodness.
You gotta be, what level of privacy are you willing to sacrifice? Because that feed has to go somewhere.
Wow. I know I house set my son's house this weekend, and my 15-year-old grandson was with me, and the doorbell rang, and I got up and hopped and went going. No. We have to check to see if we know who that is. Oh my goodness. Okay. Because I'm just,
as a kid, I remember someone knocked on the door, no one questioned it.
No.
It was here. Now,
yeah.
9:30 at night, 9:30, I had a UPS guy one time banging on my front door, and not just a casual, hey, potential friend, like there is an emergency banging on my door. I guess maybe just needed to be loud. I don't know. Ended up being the UPS guy, but I've heard of people knocking on doors 2 o'clock at night saying they need to make a call. Don't answer that door. If you need to go to the door, have your weapon of choice nearby you and don't answer it. Talk through the door. Do not let someone in unless they are saying they're a police officer with a warrant and they bring their badge and warrant through that window.
Yeah.
Peepholes to the doors are also great tools.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Wow. So what are some of the security measures that most people don't consider, Curtis?
A really underrated security measure that people don't consider is who they hang out with and where they go. The outside of in a home invasion, but even wherever you're going around town, you know the areas that are going to be sketchier than others. Avoid them. The people you hang out with, who are they hanging out with? What are their influences? And look at your circle of friends. If you notice that some friends are not heading in a good direction, and it's to the point where you're not able to pull them out of that dark place or whatever kind of direction they're going, you're going to break ties sooner than you're more comfortable with. Just the fear of eventually them going down a bad path, and they know what you have in your home. They've been in your home plenty of times. Your dogs might be comfortable around that person, so they're not going to, if they were to break in and steal something from you, they're not going to sound an alarm. Who you hang out with is huge and vital for your protection. If you're not hanging around good influences, then you really don't know. I think there's a good degree of sometimes over trusting the wrong people. And who you hang out with and where you go is absolutely important to protecting yourself, your home, your family, your loved ones, in any of those situations.
Wow. Well, that's not new now, because I can remember, I'm old, and I can remember when I was a teenager, my mother and father harped about, you are who you run with. So don't run with the wrong people, because you wind up getting the same punishment they do. And I even preach that to my grandkids now, that if you're in a car with somebody and you get caught with something illegal in there, you're in just as much trouble as they are. So,
the other end of December, a very unfortunate event in Charlotte happened where there was a shooting at the mall, and between two people that ended up in an altercation at from what I understand, a video game store, and then the shooting happened out in the parking lot. And unfortunately, at some point, someone must have been friends with that shooter. And imagine being friends with someone is going down a dark path, and then they end up, and the shooter actually didn't even shoot the person he was aggressing towards, and unfortunately killing a 13-year-old girl. Very unfortunate situation, but being around in that situation, anybody could have been shot, and that's an unfortunate event. And the community has done an amazing job of trying to help out that family, from what I understand. But taking those situations, as we grow up, it is about who we hang out with is vital, because it might not even be an immediate person in that circle, but someone you're hanging out might tell someone else, oh, I went over to this person's house. They got all this other stuff at their house, and they're telling the wrong crowd as well, and then that leads to a home invasion. So
if you have a home invasion or a home invasion, are there any tips you can give us if that happens? Can you think of anything that we can do at that point in time?
Yeah, in the event that happens, in North Carolina, you're allowed to shoot. You can essentially shoot through your door. Someone's trying to come in my door, I can call it, get 911 on the phone, grab my firearm, say, hey, I got a gun. If you keep trying to come in here, I got a gun, I got 911 on the phone. If you keep trying to come in, I'm going to shoot you. Having an ultimate plan is no different than having a fire drill. Have a plan. Regardless of what that plan is, get a plan in place. You could have a fire extinguisher next to your kitchen. If you don't know how to use it, or if you don't have a plan for when to grab it, at what point do I use the fire extinguisher, then you're not going to be put in a successful situation. Have a plan is the most vital thing. You could have all the tools in the world without a plan. It's nothing.
Absolutely. Wow. So what can someone do in the case of domestic violence or protective order situations? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, in a protective order situation in North Carolina, I can only speak for North Carolina because I know the laws. Go to your sheriff's office and go get an emergency concealed carry permit. Okay, and if you're in the Charlotte area, contact me. your permit will only be good for 45 days, your emergency permit, contact me. Let's get you through a concealed carry class right away, so that way when you apply, you can then get, you'll be able to carry more than those 45 days. You'll be able to carry for 5 years, but that way you'll get an opportunity to protect yourself longer. If your situation's that dire, 45 days potentially will not be enough to protect yourself.
Wow. Wow. Goodness gracious. So, what about if someone's in a protective order situation and say they have a protective order against someone? Are there any tips you can give us for how to protect ourselves in that manner?
Yeah, surround yourself. It's kind of the opposite of who you hang out with. Surround yourself around people that have your safety in mind. Because if you don't, and you'll know who those people are. Those people honestly will probably be ragging on you the most about doing the right things. Those are the people you want to, because they care about you. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. The people that care about your safety is going to be
my goodness
all about you coming up with a plan.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about Watchman Solutions and what you do and what kind of services you offer that can help prevent home invasions and imminent dangers in the Charlotte area, because that's the laws, you know.
So things we do a concealed carry class, and if you have a concealed carry permit, we offer basic defensive pistol classes and advanced defensive pistol classes. So more advanced stuff beyond just getting your permit, because your permit's just not enough training. After that, we do in-home consultations. We do an assessment of their home and then provide a consultation afterwards. And then we also offer actually security for neighborhoods, HOAs, apartment condo complexes, and also construction sites. Well, mainly for the home invasion stuff, we do HOAs and condos and apartment complexes as well. Physical security in those areas.
Right. So back to this this plan of what you do. I guess it's a home invasion plan or whatever, emergency plan, whatever you have. So you actually counsel people. You go into their homes and counsel them on how to set up their plan.
Yeah, we'll go to their home. We'll do a full assessment. I mean, we're not going to counsel them yet. We'll do a full assessment. We'll look at things like the deadbolt. Look at their lighting. Everything and more that we previously talked about. Go through all that. We'll even give them a full review of, hey, these are sexual predators within your 5-mile radius. This is a crime database within your 5-mile radius. And we'll do a questionnaire, give an idea of, believe it or not, most murders happen from people that know each other. Kind of get an idea of, hey, is there anyone that you might think want to harm you? And then after that, we'll come back to the office, give them a full plan, give them a full report, and give it to them in digital and in writing of things they can do, and we'll coach them on that, of how to implement their plan to protect themselves.
And does your company do any kind of group broadcast or seminars or anything like that? So if people want to come out and listen to what you have to say, do you do anything like that? Yeah,
we are going to do some safety and awareness training coming up, and we'll blast that out pretty soon. And we also offer, we're going to be doing a seminar pretty soon with church security leaders. We're going to start doing church security training as well, armed and unarmed. And so
wow, that's awesome.
To the leaders as well, give them some good pointers as well to help protect the congregation.
Well, I think that's really needed, because everyone thinks they're in a safe haven in church, and as we well know, that's not true anymore. There's too many times.
In the Old Testament, they had guards at the temples.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a new concept.
Right. It's especially difficult now, over there near where y'all live. They had that church shooting a few years ago where they killed everybody at prayer meeting. And then you've had, you just have invasions. They come and steal. And one church that I was associated with in Georgia, it actually had a robbery right after the offering was taken up. Yeah. Armed robbery. They came in and stole the offering. Yep. So, that kind of stuff is just, it all reverts back to the type of situations that people get in where they just need money. They need money, and most of the time it's for drugs. So it's so sad. It's It's really sad. So, well, tell us a little bit about your contact information, how we can reach you, if anyone wants to call and talk to you, and then I want you to please get us a copy of your schedule for your seminars if you have it, so we can put it up on our show. Okay?
Absolutely. So you can contact us. WatchmanSolutions.net is our website. My email address is curtis@watchmansolutions.net. Our Facebook and Instagram are Watchman Solutions 1 is the handle, or at Watchman Solutions 1 is our Facebook and Instagram handle.
Well, that's great. Now, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing all that good information. And for all of the viewers, please take note and listen and watch again and listen, and make sure that you have a plan in place. Make sure that you discuss this, especially with your children, because you just don't know what you don't know, and we don't want anyone that's viewing our shows to be a victim of anything like that. So that's why we put out shows like this. So I thank you so much, Curtis, for being with us and sharing with us with Shine Your Light and WYTV7 this. And so we'll probably be in touch with you again to try to give us more tips about other things that we really didn't have time to talk about. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Nancy. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Curtis.